And we're back with Richard Reviews. Today we're reviewing a book for richardreviews.com/GriffinChestnut here on YouTube. Today's book that Richard will be reviewing for us is titled Red Shirts by John Scalzi. This, of course, is the author of Old Man's War, another book series that Richard also read. And this is apparently the New York Times bestseller. With as a book list and a forwarded review, claims that it's mind-bending and a joy to read. If you're a fan of the Old Man's War pieces, there is no doubt in Richard's mind that you'll be ultimately a fan of Red Shirts. It's not set in the same universe, but it has a revolution of mindfulness, very similar to the novel by Barry Boyce. And it's a fun-filled chapter of excruciatingly intersection, particularly because of the iconic and irrelevant Buddhism and cognitive sciences that John Scalzi pertains in this piece. So this is not a most appreciated work by John Scalzi. Richard did not enjoy this book. He thought it was glossed over, a lot of lost potential, and there was some growing confusion with a lot of the characters and the story, along with the plot line. On the cover, as you can see right here, it says the New York Times bestseller. So this is another situation where Richard is unaware as to why this would be a bestseller, especially for the New York Times. He did not find this novel enjoyable, not even in the slightest. Richard has read a decent amount of John Scalzi, and he felt that this is probably one of his weakest. A lot of it is irrelevant. A lot of it is seeking for this massive epic appeal to this fanboy wisdom of the new age of the general the new age 21st century society, of everything is going to be some sort of giant epic galactic battle, whereas it cuts fort the associates and it forges down on the ultimate story and plot line of the book itself. So we're going to take a look at this piece. This is Richard's piece. It's his personal piece, but from the front to the start, there's a different formulation with this piece and others, and 2 thumbs down for this piece immediately. This is a bad book. Richard does not recommend this piece. He obtained it in 2014, and he will be getting rid of it very soon because he does not want this piece in his collection. It will remain here for the remainder of the month until Richard finds a new home for it. And if no one will claim it, it will be sent to the dumpster. So the piece is in good condition, as Richard keeps all of his pieces in pretty good condition. It is a soft cover, as you would expect from John Scalzi. He can't really afford and doesn't appreciate the hardcover pieces. John Scalzi isn't a strong enough name to acclimate such a praise in a book system. But as we take a look at the condition is fairly well. As you can tell, the cream, so far the cream is all good. This is Richard's personal piece. The cream is good too. On the side we have John Scalzi, Red Shirts, and Tor Publishing Company. Tor is the unfortunate publishing company that had to do with expediting this unfortunate piece of disaster of artistic, if one could even call this some sort of an artistic note. It's very poor to say. Here is some undeserved praise for the author and the story and the book. Apparently Red Shirts is a ruin your underwear funny. More really drop-dead idiosyncrasy jokes that account for nothing that's unifying in this piece at all. There is some unfortunate, very irrelevant and unbelievably converging placement of the barcodes in this, and as you can tell, we have it down to the south and dilated to the right, down to the south, and dilated to the right. So more unappropriate placement goes along with much of this piece. John Scalzi once again gives us really bad placement for his book design, and it is a very unfortunate piece, as you can tell. Not much involved in this. The characters all fall extremely flat. So does the story and the plot line. If you're looking for a space epic garbage piece of cheap jokes and some unadulterated modern format, whereas to almost insult the reader if you continue to read, this might be the book for you. There's really not that much intelligent stuff going on inside this book. In terms of the profession of Mr. John Scalzi, we have to hold him accountable for this. Richard claims that this is not the first John Scalzi piece that he has read, but this will most notably be the last John Scalzi piece that he's read. He finished up the Old Man War series, and he will talk about that in the link in the description, which you can click down below. And there's really not much to say other than Richard was not a fan of this, and he wanted to express his distaste of this, so he saves other unfortunate souls from purchasing this piece. He does not want any individuals watching this to be fooled into giving John Scalzi money. Do not buy John Scalzi's works. This is words from Richard. He claims that John Scalzi needs to go back to editorial and author school, and he's spending too much time in his virtual environments, where there is increasing evidence, for example, in all of this in this piece. So the official price, let's see, it's not even on here. No, we don't even have an official price. Oh, you could tell barely. $14.95, I'm assuming. The barcode, the artificial barcode that this was slapped onto, has overtaken this mythological piece of garbage, and that is the ultimate price. Does Richard recommend anyone pay $14.95 for this piece of work? No. Richard would recommend nobody pay anything for this piece of work. In fact, Richard is going to see what he can do about this piece in terms of getting it out of his collection and pushing it far away. If anyone in the comment section feels the unintelligent remark of wanting this piece, Richard will respond with, "I will save you the time and effort," and he will personally throw this piece into the dumpster himself. So thank you, Richard, for this review. Thank you for the heads up, for warning us about the poor writemanship of Mr. John Scalzi and the poor novel that he has created through unintelligent ambition and an eagerness to become famous as one of the new great novelists of the 21st century, which Richard claims he thoroughly does not deserve at all. But that's it for Richard Reviews here on YouTube. So giving John Scalzi Red Shirts a negative score, one of Richard's most hated pieces. He will not be entertaining any more John Scalzi pieces. And you can catch us next time here on Richard Reviews. This is Red Shirts by John Scalzi.